So I'm in Australia on this hot day in summertime, December 19, 2019, and I have just seen Star Wars 9, The Rise of Skywalker. As one of the extras with my own little figurine from Star Wars, I'm ecstatic to be part of the franchise. I played Poe Nudo in episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I was on Geonosis and I got killed on the Mustafar system by Darth Vader. So, The Rise of Skywalker. Australia and the UK get to see it today. America has to wait until tomorrow. I don't know about the other countries. Sorry. Anyway, we're one of the early countries, so I can tell you what I feel about it. I loved it. A lot to take in. A lot of characters. How saturated can you make a movie with characters without becoming like a cheesy Batman and Robin floppy ear bullshit movie, right? You don't want that to happen. But they needed closure on every level. I think you'll be satisfied with the final scene. Yeah, I was. Gave me some good closure. So you're looking at the trailers and wondering what's happening with C-3PO's red eyes. Why is he saying goodbye to his friends? What is happening to the back of his brain when they're taking those wires and plugging him into something? A lot of people have said they're going to integrate him with the Millennium Falcon. I'm not going to say whether that's right or wrong at this point because I feel like I don't want to give too many spoilers away. I'll give you a couple of clues, all right? So Rey's parents, who are they? This is a big question. Almost as big as, well, didn't seem as big, but it's significant compared to, even in comparison to who was Luke's father. Darth Vader killed Luke's father and he wanted to get revenge, and then he found out that, no, I am your father, right? So finding out who Rey's parents are seems like a big question, but the question is not who are Rey's parents. The question is who is Rey's grandparent. There was a massively awesome scene, which feels like I'm just starting to get involved into Rey more now, and now it's all over. I don't think there's going to be any kind of Rey spin-off series or anything else, and I can't even tell you if she survived by the end of the film, because that would be giving too much away, I guess. Did Leia survive? Did any of the cameos from previous major actors, was Alec Guinness, for example, or Hayden Christensen as Force Ghost? Was Yoda as a Force Ghost? Was Luke as a Force Ghost? Was even potentially Han Solo as a Force Ghost? Does Leia survive, given that we know that Carrie Fisher has actually died in real life? How was she in the movie? Well, I know, I heard an interview with J.J. Abrams before I even watched this movie. They took some footage that didn't make the cut for The Force Awakens, and they've put that in this movie. And in the writing of this film, they actually wrote around those scenes to make sure that Carrie Fisher was featured heavily in this film, and she's quite prominent in this film. So in a lot of these Star Wars movies, you have two sort of sequences of major action. There's usually the star fighting and the rebels versus the massive amount of stormtroopers and minions and ships and whatever else they have to get through, right? And then there's like the main sort of hero quest, which in general in these latest 3 trilogy movies have been basically to do with Rey and Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo. So the journey of Ben Solo is important. Kylo Ren is important. The journey of Daisy Ridley, Rey. Rey who? If I told you what her surname is, you would know a lot. And it's really a significant part of this film, and it matters. And what of the Emperor? You hear his voice in the sequences in the trailers. You know he's in it, right? What's his name? McDiarmid? Ian McDiarmid. I saw him. I had lunch with him. When I was having lunch with George Lucas in the at Fox Studios when I was an extra. So he's in it, and I fucking love his voice, man. I'd say his voice is up there with Darth Vader's voice now. Do not wait for DVD, obviously, for Star Wars 9. You've got to see it at the cinema. I saw it at Gold Class, where you get, dips and stuff, as well as beer, instead of just popcorn and stuff. But just go and see it with popcorn, doesn't matter. It's fucking awesome. You're gonna love it. I didn't totally get emotional, because I was actually having a reunion with my friend who I hadn't seen in 10 years. So that was happening at the same time. He'd actually bought my ticket for me, which is amazing. Let me talk about C-3PO. Okay, I don't know the name of the cone-shaped robot, but he's this one. There's a unicycle kind of little robot in this one. There's BB-8, of course. R2-D2, C-3PO is quite a major character. Chewbacca is quite a major character in this movie as well. And Lando Calrissian. Okay, here's something that I didn't like straight off the bat, right? And you'd think, fucking you superficial prick, why are you mentioning that for? You're ruining the movie for me straight away. All right, I'll tell you what. Luke's ghost is in this movie, right? He's a Force ghost, okay? But he's a fat Force ghost. They should have made him exercise before making the fucking movie. Do something, like CG his face thinner or something. Same with Lando Calrissian. I don't know the actor's name, I'm sorry. But you don't want a fat Lando and a fat Luke. These are the heroes of our day. I mean, this is total closure for the original. I was born in 1977 when The New Hope was released. So this has been a 42-year journey for me. Totally running synchronistically with my life. Not that I've been doing those things and there's been Death Stars and shit being shot out of space during my life. Because obviously that was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's not affecting me necessarily. Although I can feel gravitational waves as echoes through the Force. But yeah, the Rey and Poe and God, still don't remember his name. Those three, right, are major. But you'd be thinking there'd be certain love interests and stuff going along a lot during this movie. There's a really graphic sex scene towards the end between two of the major characters. I'm not going to tell you which two. But it does involve an Ewok at one point. So, yeah, you're probably wondering about the Ewoks. Is that Endor, right? Isn't that would have been where remnants of the Death Star landed, in the ocean of Endor. If Endor has oceans like those big raging ones you see in the movie. There are a lot of new planets, all right? Which planets do we go back to? I can tell you one. All right, I'll mention it. Tatooine, okay? I just said it. There you go. I can't really remember or identify any of the other planets that they were on. I don't want to say that Endor is not in it, or if it is in it. You're going to have to just wait and see. And what about Rey's training? When you see her with the, the mask and the training, what that little ball thing that electrocutes you or whatever. Anyway, she has a lot of power, that girl, and that's why that's what makes this movie really awesome. Her powers make this movie really good. Some closure makes it awesome, but mostly her powers make it awesome, and the Emperor's voice, and just the way the Emperor exists makes this movie awesome. Yeah. Well, of course, I'm going to see it again 100 more times, but it's a total closure for me to have seen it. I feel like I need to watch it again, of course, to totally look back and understand everything that's going on. I'll be watching YouTube videos as well as like you guys will be. I'm sorry, I'm not a great reviewer of movies and have all the facts written down and shit, but just off the top of my head, I've just seen the movie. It's December 19. You guys are going to get it on December 20. I know that's 24 hours too long for you guys. But yeah, I've given you a little bit of teaser and idea of what's going on. I haven't given too much away. I haven't said who's dying, who's living, blah, 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 blah. Who's cameoing, okay? Yeah, so... I'll give you one clue, right? Either Hayden Christensen, Alec Guinness, Harrison Ford, or James Earl Jones. I know it's just a voice. Or Yoda are in this movie. Okay? as a cameo. That's what I'm gonna leave with.